How you doing, brother? So good to see you. Ties.
This is awesome.
Love the shirt.
This is a lot of people. Dad, I'm just gonna go off and film, right? Yeah. Unless you can get everything. That I got it.
Yeah, he got his.
So many people, I can't even like get a good angle. I was not expecting this many people. That's awesome. What's up, Trail of the Wild Wild? Welcome to the stream. Dad, I got
Joining together here. Nobody's
There's so many people, it's hard to like capture everybody here. So proud to be part of the Fringe minority. Yeah, this is Victoria, BC, for the person who asked where this is.
Fighting for freedom!
My arms are already getting tired.
Showdown there.
Yeah.
I thought you were up here. I was back and forth up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up there and kind of just capture the sheer amount of people here.
Good luck. I like your hat.
All right, now I'm taking you guys for a little walk just to capture how many people are actually here. That stop micromanaging the stream. It's actually annoying. Like, leave. All right. Dad's just trying to make sure we get everything in here. Look at this. Alright, now we're headed to the front here. So I'm not out here picking a side. I'm just here doing the non-biased coverage of what's actually happening down here. Live, no editing.
Walk over to the corner here.
Put an end to the vaccine passports. No more segregation. No more divide. It's time to end the tyranny and get back to scheduled freedom.
They look great on stop signs.
My arms are tired. No, I don't know.
See, where in the States, I think they bring to the side a lot of making my rounds.
What are the comments saying? Who says, this is old, this is not live? No, this is a live stream. Dad, you record. You take it.
I thought it was a hoax until she sent me this. Her daughter was telling me that this radio said that
No more segregation, no more divide. Put an end to the vaccine passport. End the segregation, end the divide. No more vaccine
11
strong
people
and
watching
free.
right now.
Together we stand
You got
against
12 people
tyranny.
watching.
No more fact pass. No more mandates. What are we here for? Our freedom. What do we want? Now. What are we here for? What are we here for? When do we want it? No more vaccine passports. No more mandates.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Somebody just said love from Toronto. Like the whole time. When you get tired, you can give it back to me. I'm excited to read what the people are saying. I see a lot of comments just flooding in, but can't really read them. Got 14 people watching. Lucky number. I know. Somebody just said beautiful footage. Oh, I almost just fell. I'm gonna get closer. Somebody said to get closer to hear the speakers. Somebody said to get closer to hear the speakers.
Please join me in singing our national anthem.
Home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free! All right, we got 21 people in the stream. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more coverage. I'm going to be out here pretty much all day.
One of the very,
I need you to stay off.
hello, very hard, do we have to change battery? Very hard-working person who has helped Jonathan with all of this. I'm just so honored to have met these beautiful people. Now, our first speaker, you've seen him before. I think I'm just a little shorter than him. I think he's dynamic. His name is Kevin Brent. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin is the owner of the Studio for Athletics. He's a big part of the freedom movement on Vancouver Island. That was a driving force in organizing gyms across the province to open despite mandates. Thanks to his work, the provincial government reopened gyms on January 20th. Kevin will also be talking about mandate-free events. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kevin Brent.
All right, what's up, Victoria? This is amazing. This is really amazing. Now, many of you know that I own a gym, but what you may not know is that I also teach a Brazilian martial art called capoeira. And my teacher always used to say, mentiroso tem perna curta. And what that means is liars have short
Dad,
legs.
you want to hold it again? My arms are
They
falling.
can't go very far. And it just so happens to be one trapped in his cottage in Ottawa right now, and he's not going anywhere. They shut down gyms a while back because they said they were environments that were high risk. Turns out that wasn't true, but Parliament is an area of high risk. So by their logic, the right thing to do would be to shut it all down, send the 388 MPs home, and as it turns out, Canadians just sent 50,000 trucks to tell them to do just that. If you're worried about them, we'll give them $295 a week of EI, and they'll be just fine. They will own nothing, and they will be happy. Now, we Canadians are very nice, aren't we?
Yes.
Until we're not. We say sorry, excuse me, pardon me. We're all very patient, and we say things like, it's not that bad. But then we hit a wall, and all of a sudden, there are 50,000 trucks outside your door. So I'm a business owner, and business owners in the crowd, I'm here to talk to you. How many of you are business owners out there? How's business going these days? How is your staff? How are your clients? Do you like turning away 20% of your customers? Do you like turning away your friends and your family? If you haven't heard yet, they've extended the passport in BC until June. Yeah. But you know what? They also extended the gym closures indefinitely. And we all know how that turned out. It took less than 50 small independent operators to call their bluff, and they backed down. That is something that can be duplicated, and we can win. And now that we're open, the next step is getting rid of the Vax Pass. It's not slowing the spread. It's been a huge financial stress, and it denies the people who need these services from having them. And the worst part is, it's not at all justified. We no longer want to carry this burden of these passports when they're not doing what we were told they were supposed to do. And if you don't believe me, ask Patty Daly. Patty Daly. She says they're for incentive purposes only, that businesses required to ask for them are not areas of high transmission. Dr. Patty Daly, Vice President of BC Public Health, she said that. Remember her name, make her famous. The truth is, when they closed gyms and kept casinos open, it was a gift. It happened at Christmas, and it truly was a beautifully wrapped gift with a big, beautiful bow. With that decision, they lost all credibility, all standing, and I can't wait for them to come and talk to me. That is a conversation I cannot wait to have. I am so looking forward to having them look me in the eye and explain to me how it was a good idea to close gyms and leave casinos open, when we all know gyms are part of the solution and not part of the problem. So let's carry this momentum forward, keep them on the defense, and drop all illegal mandates ourselves. They have lost credibility. The damage they have done to themselves is irreparable. And I don't know how they will ever recover or ever gain our trust again. If you are feeling anxious or fearful about moving forward, remember that we are blessed to live in a land where the law is still on our side. But you have to understand that rights are like muscles. If you neglect them or you fail to exercise them, they will slowly atrophy and disappear. These ideals we hold so dear are fragile and rare. And they've taken generations to build, and they're worth protecting. We're not asking for the world. We're asking for something that civilized nations decided a long time ago was a good idea. Informed consent and democracy. And that doesn't mean they can't try and persuade us legally. Make a good case. Show some data. Present all sides fairly and openly, and then we will decide. If you have a good argument, government, you will win. If you're persuasive, you have nothing to worry about. If it's a good product, you won't have to threaten people by excluding them from society, firing them from their jobs, denying them the right to make a living, or seeing their loved ones. Instead, you'll have people waiting, lined up around the block, camping overnight just to get one. That's what you need to do, government. But what's wrong with your product when so many people don't want it? The good news is the people are getting stronger and they are getting weaker. They are so weak that 50 ragtag gym owners could make them reverse their decision, and the Prime Minister is currently hiding in his cottage until the trucks go away. But what they don't realize is we're not going away. Canadians are now inspiring the rest of the world, and it's not just the trucks anymore, but the millions of people behind them. God bless, have faith, realize there are worse things than dying. Those are the things that keep you going through the dark hours. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, each and every one of you. Thank God for the awakening. And before I go, I'm just going to say a few words about the organization here. We have some initiatives, because it's not enough that we just come here and meet like this. It's not enough. We have to get involved. So we have 3 initiatives that we're focusing on. Number 1 is recall. I don't know if you guys know this, but it only takes 40% of the voters to get rid of these guys. So they better be paying attention, because that's not that many. We're also inviting you to submit demand letters. If you've been unjustly let go or fired because of this, write us an email at contact@weunify.com, and we'll try and get you compensation, and if that doesn't work, we'll go to court for you. And number 3, we want a debate. We're at square one after 2 years, and we know there are alternatives, so let's talk about it. This is such a good conversation we're having today. We're going to continue it. We can't tell you where it is. It's an undisclosed location. If you want some more information, come and see us at the outreach tent. We're going to have a panel discussion with Mr. Peckford, the Honorable Brian Peckford, and a doctor who's going to be talking about these issues. And if there's any media out there and you want to actually tell the story, we have a media tent here. You can come and talk to us. Tell the truth. And we know that rallies only work if the people don't go away. So guess what? We're going to do this every first Saturday of every month until this stuff gets repealed. And I just want to say, as great as it is to see you all here, we could do better. The last time I was here, we performed at Canada Day, and there's 40,000 people. The complete harbor was full. That's what we need to do. If every single person brought here 1 person, there'd be twice as many people here. If you brought 3, 4, 5, you do the math. But we need to fill this harbor, and we need to tell them that we're done with this. Thank you very much. God bless everyone.
I think we all brought a few of them. Trudeau must go! Trudeau must go! Trudeau must go! Trudeau must go!
Thank you, Kevin Brent. Let's give him another round of applause. I just want to acknowledge some of the side. I know you. Check. I know you guys did a lot of work putting together these signs, so I just want to acknowledge 45 years as an RN, lost my job thanks to government tyrannical mandate. I will fight. Good for you. God bless you. My body, my choice. I'd rather be at the pub and back passports now. Please don't raise anything that's going to embarrass me. Okay. Okay, strong and free. I was fired. Man, you know, I mean, live in love, not fear. I do not comply. What about a debate? So, yes, I'm only 7 years old, no COVID shots. Yeah. Somebody's checking my mic, right? Okay, good. Is that me? Am I having a stroke or? All right, our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, he is helping us organize the British Columbia Convoy to Victoria. He owns a construction company on Vancouver Island and has worked around the clock tirelessly since the first moment of the Canadian convoy movement for the people who came here today. We really want to thank him for his contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Slimko. Who is just a little bit late. And so we're just going to, well, with all the traffic, you can imagine. If I were him, I would have started earlier, but that's just me. All right, am I trying new mic? Okay, good. Every time the mic goes down, this guy up here has a little announcement to make. I love it. All right, our next speaker, while we wait for Mike, she has a PhD in philosophy, Western, 2008, with areas of specialization in ethics and ancient philosophy. She has a master's in philosophy with collaborative specialization in bioethics from the University of Toronto and a diploma in ethics from the Kennedy Institute of Ethics at Georgetown University. She has published in the areas of ancient philosophy, ethical theory, and applied ethics, and has taught at universities in Canada and the US for 20 years. In the fall of 2021, she saw her academic career of 20 years fall apart after she refused to comply with a Canadian university's COVID vaccine mandate. In response, she recorded a special video directed to her first-year ethics students that went viral. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a video of Dr. Julie Ponesse. Give it up for her.
Oh, they're playing it on that TV. Yeah.
We've got two screens on either side here.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Ponesse, and I'm joining you today. This is a pre-recorded video. This is actually my afternoon, but I'm pre-recording because if all goes well, I will be joining.
All right, turn it up.
Hi everyone, my name is Julie Ponesse, and I'm joining you today. This is a pre-recorded video. This is actually Monday afternoon, but I'm pre-recording because if all goes well, I will be joining a group of people in Ottawa on Saturday to meet the trucks and support the truckers and hopefully speak to our country and alongside many other people. So I was asked to speak to your group and to start by just saying a little bit about who I am and my experience with the vaccine mandates in particular, but of course that sort of drawn me into looking into our current situation in a deeper way, and to realizing that this COVID situation, these vaccine mandates are really just the tip of a very deep, complex, murky, if you pardon, I think the mixed metaphors there, but iceberg, and that our current situation didn't come out of a vacuum, it didn't emerge ex nihilo out of nothing, but that we have been laying the tracks, for lack of a better way to put it, for the train to get us to this place for a number of decades, and that if we don't understand how that's happened and make a concerted effort to change our course in the future, we will, I fear, just suffer from a kind of collective national amnesia that will land us in this same place, sort of same wolf, different clothing, in a few years or a couple of decades or whatever. So this, to me, this COVID situation is a real wake-up call to put under the microscope what's going on in our country, politically, economically, ideologically, morally, that not only has allowed, in my view, our government, our public health officials to ask the unreasonable of us, the undemocratic of us, but what has allowed us, encouraged us, applauded us for turning on each other and allowing ourselves to be so divided. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. September of 2021, I taught philosophy at Huron College, which is one of the affiliated colleges at Western University. I received my PhD from Western in 2008, and I specialized in ethics and ancient philosophy, and I also have a background in medical ethics. And then taught at universities in Canada and the States for a number of years, and then my final teaching position was at Huron, and so I taught for about starting in my graduate career and then until I finished in 2021, about 20 years in total in the classroom. Last summer, it became quite clear that the university was going to implement a vaccine mandate, although that didn't become clear until pretty close to the beginning of the school term in September. When I saw this come in from the very beginning with the COVID situation, I was not interested in one of the COVID vaccines. It was not a choice I would voluntarily make. And so when I faced that decision in September, it was not a question of me whether or not it would be a voluntary choice. It was a question of whether or not I would make an involuntary choice, a coerced choice, for the sake of keeping my job. And my decision, I won't go into maybe hear all the details why I objected to the mandates and why I didn't feel that COVID vaccination was right for me. But I think what's more interesting and possibly more important is that if we're at the point in Canada where a person needs to consider, is asked to consider, to take an investigational medical product of any kind, in this case it was a vaccine that has not been fully tested, for which we don't have long-term data, and I just thought I wasn't going to go into the details about that, so I'll back up a little bit. But if we are, honestly, if we are at the point in the country where people are deciding between the freedom to decide what goes into their body and the ability to put food on the table for their families, then that's not a medical failure. That's not a failure of our healthcare system. That's a failure of our democracy. We have gotten to a place where we have allowed the state to make choices about our healthcare, and that, in my mind, breaks the sacred bond between a patient and his or her primary care physician. That 2,000 years of medical history of thinking about healthcare and how best to deliver it, and how our healthcare providers can best support the living of a good life. That sort of flies in the face of 2,000 years of that. And if we've gotten to the place in our country where we have decided that it's okay to a place where we are going to politicize our immunity, where we are dividing citizens tax ambition status, where we are closing off opportunities to people in virtue of their personal medical choices. This isn't about people might say, well, that seems legitimate to me because we're trying to protect people. We don't want people who are at risk of infecting others to share the same spaces as themselves. And to be quite honest with you, I think that scientific argument is failing and it's coming to light how it's failing. But if we leave that aside for a minute, someone in my position, I was being given, I was terminated, not from my position as an instructor, but from my employment status, right? So it wasn't, I'd love to explain that a little bit. So it wasn't even an option for me to teach a course in law. I'm here to teach all of my courses in law.
There we go. Well, thank you very much, Doctor. All right. I know she had a great message. She really does. And anyway, I'm sure that if you go to We Unify website, you'll be able to find her speech there as well. But you know what? Right now, we've got another very important speaker. Check one. There we go. So eventually, if I can get a replacement mic, I love you forever. No, we don't have it? Okay. Your name is Mike. Okay, good. All right. Well, listen, this next speaker is a pediatric occupational therapist, registered holistic nutritionalist, and the founder of the Global Alliance for Our Children's Future. Leader in the Canadian Health Alliance. She collaborates with leading international scientists, educators, and the community to reverse symptoms associated with chronic neurodevelopmental conditions in children. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Michelle Riddle.
Hey, what an honor to be here with such a brave and strong group of humans. Give yourself a hand. Yeah, you are all heroes here, each and every one of you. And I would like to give a special shout out to all who, against popular opinion, stepped up early in the game. Yeah. This has not been easy, and we're still early in the game. Right? Yeah. You have faced ridicule, you've lost jobs, and friends and family have disengaged. Yeah, this is painful. This is heart-wrenching, but you continue to stand. You continue to stand because you know what is right. You are on the right side of history, each and every one of you. You have shared your voice. Well, shared your voice, and you are true leaders of this world. Now our truckers have just completed a feat, There's nothing short of miraculous. They have broken the barriers of mainstream media. As I was heading out for the rally in Vancouver, there's this huge line of trucks ready to head off on Sunday morning. And BC said they were doing, anybody know? They were there for road quality. Now, when these truckers and all the thousands and thousands and thousands of supporters headed out on the road, that was Exactly. It was about freedom. And nobody could miss that, right? So the media, well, had to actually say what was going on. Yeah. They're also uniting the world. Yeah. They're inspiring the world to stand together against a very broken system. It is, yeah. Our truckers are leading the way. You are all leading the way. So I'm a team lead with the Canada Health Alliance, and like the truckers, our mission is to unite and stand up for the freedoms of all Canadians. Our leaders have created a divisive, hateful, and fear-filled society. And until last weekend, the media had completely gagged us and blocked our attempts to share evidence-based science. Bought and paid for. Absolutely. Money's behind this whole show here, isn't it? Yeah. They prevented us from engaging in open discourse, but the truckers have pulled back the curtain on our Wizard of Oz leadership. Right? Yeah. And what did we find when we pulled that curtain back? Actually, a scared man, right? He's run away. First he called names, and then he ran away, right? I don't know that I want a leader like that. Right? Yeah, absolutely. But now the media is telling us that the facts have changed. Oh, that's good they've changed, right? The science has changed. Well, I didn't know science really changed. It has a process, it evolves, it does things over time. But the whole process, well, it hasn't changed. They're telling us it has. But they're saying that our politicians are digging in their heels and doubling down on failed, nonsensical policies. They got it right. They got that part right. These policies are nonsensical. Canada has lost the plot when it comes to vaccine mandates. Yeah, things are evolving, right? Yeah. Well, yeah. The plot, aka unfolding evidence in a worldwide experiment, is clearly telling us these mandates don't work. They don't work at all. Lockdowns have psychosocial and economic consequences that will reverberate for generations, right? Are we going to be able to undo this? Yeah, together we can, but we're going to have to start now. Let's not let any more damage happen. The countries with the highest vaccination rate also have the highest COVID-related death rates, and universal masking is anything but precautionary, right? I was an instructor, the keyword was, I was an instructor at Vancouver Island University who taught universal precautions in infection control, aka masking, or not, right? The science behind this was robust, it was durable, and it was long-standing, but they had to fire me for it, right? When COVID hit, and to this day, mandated to wear masks in all public spaces, it looks like most of you really don't want to keep doing that. Yeah. We all need to breathe in. And on the box, it tells us that these things do not prevent the transmission of viruses. It says so right on the side of the box. Read the boxes if you see them. They do not. It says it here. Yeah, if people want to wear masks, they are more than welcome to wear masks. That's up to you. But you need that information. You need all of the information, and you need to be able to make your based on how you feel and what you know. So if you want to wear a mask, go ahead. If you don't want to wear a mask, why do we all have to if they don't do what they're supposed to be? It's a lot. We don't have to. We do not have to. So one of the simplest things that you can do is to walk into any store, any public space, and show your face the way you want. If you want to show the world your smile, and our kids need that, I haven't worn a mask since the beginning of this process, and when I go into grocery stores, the little kids rubbing it. They want to see my face. They want to see my smile. They need that. Yeah, over there? Okay. So if it feels right for you, if you want to remove one of our mandates, just keep that, and I'm going to quote Danielle, she's the organizer of the World... Oh, can you hear me? There we go. Just keep that breathing barrier in your pocket. Better yet, throw them away. Right? But be brave, right? And that's the point, because we wear these masks. Okay. We have a leader who calls us names like racist and misogynist. Does that sound like he cares about us? We have a leader who pushes experimental genetics on children and pregnant women. Does that sound like he cares? We have a leader who coerces us to inject these products or lose our jobs? Yeah. Is he looking after our best interests? No! Yeah. Our Prime Minister has called the peaceful convoy to Ottawa an act of terrorism. Yeah. This audience is full of terrorists, guys. Right? I rode down with the convoy to Dickney. It was a family show, man. Yeah, there were kids out there. Lots and lots of kids. Lots of parents bringing their kids out to watch these terrorists as they go by. And the kids were cheering and the kids were going, "Hug on, guys." It was, and they had slogans that were here for peace. Wow, that sounds pretty terrifying to me, right? Yeah, all the smiles on people's faces. Absolutely amazing, right? Okay, this is the magic of this movement. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about care for each other and unity. Yeah. The truckers are connecting and unifying us, and when fear is mitigated, we feel strongly connected to the people who do care and who can critically think. I grew up, had the wonderful honor of growing up on Salt Spring Island, and I know there's a few of you out here from that great place. It's a magical island. And my next door neighbor was Dr. Herman Kirschmeier. He was a Jewish doctor, and when I was 12 years old, he was 85. He was interned in Nazi Germany, and he shared some amazing wisdom with me. He shared that the best way to survive anything, most...
Yeah! Hopefully it works. Make sure you...
Keep the one mic until you plug it in.
He works for Trudeau!
Try the mic.
Barely.
Turn it up.
Okay. Now I was just reminded I've been talking about our leader. Our leader's not the only one who's calling us names, right? You know? And it was interesting actually coming into town with our wonderful convoy. We had such welcoming energies all the way along. And then we ended up on the main streets of Victoria, and people were walking by and fingering us and scowling at us, and it was a really strange juxtaposition. And then we arrived down here, and there was all these smiling faces and waving arms, and absolutely amazing. So we need warmth, we need connection, we need that joining. We don't need anger, we don't need hostility, we don't need to be name-calling, right? So anyway, Dr. Herbert Kirschmeyer taught me about a hormone called ivermectin. And ivermectin is a connection hormone. And so I'm going to tell you how we stand up to this tyranny. Well, we do it together. We go to the store with our friends and we take off our masks together, if we want to do that, right? Yeah, we do it together. We do what Dr. Herbert Kirschmeyer taught me to do, that helped him survive Nazi Germany internship as a Jewish doctor. You find something to love in everybody. Right now, I want you to turn to somebody next to you and look at them like they're the most amazing human you have ever seen.
Look at me.
This
beautiful.
releases oxytocin.
So are you.
It makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, and it turns off the fear. And the last thing that we do is we practice intelligent non-compliance. That is, we do what those safety dogs do. If we give a command and it's too dangerous, they won't obey the command. Well, this is too dangerous. We do not comply. We need not comply. We need to intelligently not comply. We need to stand up, and we need to say no. We need to truck tyranny. Let's truck tyranny. Everybody, truck tyranny. Truck tyranny. Truck tyranny. Truck tyranny.
Hit the switch.
Check one. Before you leave, there's a gentleman by the name of Mark Drake who's got something for you.
Very quickly, hi everybody, Mark Drake from Courtney. I said this before, about 5-6 weeks ago. I presented Brian Peckford, the Honorable Brian Peckford, with a piece of the Berlin Wall. I was in Berlin November 9th, 1989 when it came down. I brought back thousands of pieces with me and they mean a lot. It's a symbol of freedom and I wanted to present it to one of our greatest leaders and freedom fighters, Michelle Riddle from Powell River. It's a paperweight.
is great. I'm so happy to see you all together, getting close, loving each other. This is about love, not about anything else. Right?
Not yet, though.
Yeah, it's about love, man. So we have our next speaker. Actually, he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been helping in organizing the British Columbia Convoy to Victoria. He owns a construction company. I told you about him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Slimko.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's nothing more important than this mission. As I ran my essential service business and never shut down, never stayed home, never stopped much of anything, I slowly watched everything being taken away from me and my son, my neighbors and family members. My purpose in life and reason for living was having the rug pulled out from under him every time he stood up a little bit. Distance from family that is still living, lost family without burying them, friends with major health problems because they complied, scrambling to adapt, learning to adopt new health measures, make hand sanitizer, and do what with these face diapers? Slowly but surely, one thing after another was taken away, and I watched the PTSD in society get worse. I have to say, our worst experience of the whole pandemic was when I called 911 for an ambulance expecting help. Instead of medical care, the ambulance was delayed 45 minutes. Westshore RCMP were so scared of potential danger that they inadvertently assaulted and abused my son before he was conscious. And it took over an hour to get to the hospital that was a 10-minute drive away. I had to call for an ambulance at least half a dozen times during this scandemic, and people were so scared and wound up that even ended up with my son being abused by hospital security staff. And a big, huge event leaving him with rather serious injuries, and even some of it in the mind and the heart. Lots of big, messy, blow out of proportion, unnecessary happenings have been going on, and it needs to stop. That's the stuff that they haven't been talking about, that is the collateral damage of these mandates. Shout out to Shawnigan Lake RCMP, Fire Department, and their paramedics for being true heroes, helping support us, going above and beyond. Best cops I've ever met. Anyways, we don't dial 911 or go to hospitals anymore unless we're there. So as soon as I saw a tiny sparkle of hope sprout of an idea that there's a way to fix this with love and peace, I knew this was a chance to bring the world together and possibly make Gene Roddenberry's idea of a future of a harmonious Earth a reality. Now that is a mission that I could give my life to. After all, my work to build my son a future would mean nothing without freedom and peace. So I will not stop, I will not back down, I will not go quietly into the night. This is part of my life's mission. We are all smart enough, we have the technology and resources to thrive on this planet. The time is now. The common enemy of evil has united us. Together we stand a better world for the people, by the people. Thank you, everyone. And now I have something to share with you guys from the BC Truckers Convoy Captain, Colin Valentine. I spoke with him on the phone briefly. And this is some amazing words from him. So first and foremost, I need to thank everyone for the tremendous support that we have received for the Convoy for Freedom. Though it began little over 2 weeks ago as an event to be held in a single city on a single day, it quickly moved to become a national event. The way that it has galvanized the citizens together, I believe calling this a movement is not out of line. It is true that this originally began as a protest in response to the border restrictions to be leveled against the trucking industry. The restrictions are going to impact all Canadians in a way that will no longer be invisible to the vast majority of the population. The amount of drivers that will be removed from cross-border transportation is vastly underreported by the media in this
country for reasons I do not understand. Unvaccinated drivers and those who, for whatever reason, have chosen to receive less than fully vaccinated status will be removed from this sector of the industry. Drivers that refuse to or incorrectly fill out their ArriveCan app will also be subject to quarantine and removal from cross-border work regardless of their vaccination status. Truckers who partook in the free vaccine clinics provided to Canadian drivers in many border states while our government fumbled around on vaccine rollout chose to be fully vaccinated, yet the Canadian government classes these drivers as unvaccinated and will remove them from the international movement of goods. I can say that we do not want to be removed from the workforce, and we would very gladly continue to supply your stores and move goods from manufacturer to warehousing if we were allowed to do so. Reports that we are solely responsible for the shortages that you have currently seen and will see in the coming months are incorrect. The government of this country has very specifically attacked the way of life that we in this country have come to expect. In the end, these mandates need to end for all Canadians, because the time has come for the people to say, enough is enough. I believe that what we have witnessed take shape in such a short order tells just how ready our fellow Canadians were to stand for their way of life. I am so thankful for the people that let me take on the organization of the BC leg of this movement, and for the love and support that we receive from everyday citizens to community and religious church groups. This truly has transcended the Canadian population, and I believe that this was the right time for us to band together for our fundamental rights and freedoms. Everyone in this country has come together, not only those directly supporting the convoy or participating, but also those such as yourselves who are out in participation of support movements across this country coinciding with the dates from the convoy. For the first time in the last 2 years, I can truly say that I'm proud of my country and the people in it for stepping up to say no more to our governments and truckers captain, and is brought to you by a wonderful group up in Campbell River. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Slimko. All right, this isn't part of the program, but I just have such a soft spot for seniors, probably because I'm one myself. But there's a gentleman here that just wants 2 minutes of your time, and his 2 minutes, right? Yes, 2 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Phillip Nader.
I'm a doctor, and I've got a cold, and I think you should get it too. It's called viral incompatibility. The veterinarians know better. This has not been researched here about COVID, but it's a good bet, and I want you all to be my subjects. So anybody who has had COVID and a cold, let me know, because I don't think it happens. So I hope you get my cold. It's good for you. And I want you to know, because I have taught research methodology, I'm a peer reviewer, I've been a professor at 5 universities. You need to know there are no double-blind studies. None.
We know.
None. They are all bogus. Hundreds of them. Because they're not double-blind. And how do you know that? Because they didn't try to find out if they were blind or not. Can you imagine? And the other thing you need to know is that statue down there could be my father. My father fought in both world wars. And he fought for these freedoms.
But once there were 30, 40 people, he had to take it somewhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Cam Brewer.
I want to thank all of you for coming out. Obviously, we don't do this alone. We do it with everybody that's here. It takes every one of us to be the hero that we're searching for. For me, this is simple. There is an old expression that says, the truth will set you free. So true freedom, it comes from knowing the truth. And that's all we've been asking through this whole process. Personally, for me, if mandates end tomorrow, that's only the beginning. We need to make sure that we know what's happening. Our politicians need to be transparent, honest, and open. All I'm asking for is a debate. I'm fine with Dr. Bonnie Henry's viewpoint if she's willing to defend it against somebody who disagrees with her. Have an open forum. We need to be in a position where people can be privy to that. We can have a 2-day forum where if all these things that were proposed are talked about. I'll go where the truth leads. That's what we should be all about. That's what our focus needs to be on. So when this ends, there's a couple of things that have to happen. We have to have the highest court in the land, the Supreme Court, rule about what happened. If this is unconstitutional, then let them say so. We need to have that case heard. Secondly, we need to be this type of citizens that are engaged in the political process. So we're going to hold our elected officials to task. Both the ones who are in charge and the ones who are in opposition who are silent. All politicians. That is how we affect true change. I'm not about tearing down that house. That's the people's house. It's my house. And I have just as much right to that house as every one of you. So we need to have a frank, honest, open discussion, because if you don't want to have mistrust of your electorate, then you need to be upfront with your electorate. That is why we have people that have doubts about everything and conspiracy theories and whatever else. Let's shed some light and truth on everything. And let's get it out in the open. So that has to be our commitment, because otherwise we're going to be at this again next year and the year after. We don't need an emergency blueprint that we go through every single time. The other important thing a lot of you need to do is, there's maybe 1,000, 2,000, whatever number you are out there. You need to get involved in the process. If you think the people in there do a bad job and you think you can do better, throw your ring in the hat. Get in there. We need people who are actually going to make a change. That's what we have to be about. This isn't about one thing. I hear so often people talk about fundamental change, fundamental change. I come from a country, India, where Gandhi proved that the resistance works. You can do a non-violent resistance, but real change involves all of us getting involved and being part of that solution. I love what the truckers are doing. I love what the nurses have done. I've loved everybody who's stepping up. But each one of you is the hero that you're looking for. So, don't count on the people in this crowd, or the ones who organize this, or myself, or anybody else to be your savior. You're it. Okay, sign up for the job. Take it on. Be willing to pay the price. Get engaged in the process. It's your country. That cenotaph represents bloodshed. That represents young men and women who gave the ultimate sacrifice. None of us have been tasked with that, but we owe them and the next generation the responsibility of passing on a better place. We always hear that expression, we want to leave a better world for our children. I would rather leave better children for this world. So, I want to thank all of you for coming out. Just keep supporting it. keep moving along and just look for accountability, seek the truth.
Just came out on the news is that the Premier of Saskatchewan has removed all mandates. This woman is a team leader with We Unify Canada, and her team prepares and serves notices of liability that are served to individuals and businesses that enforce unjust, unlawful mandates and discrimination or endanger individuals. She also served her community as a volunteer firefighter until mandates prohibited her from continuing her work. She's a volunteer firefighter. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Roz.
We are not the fringe. And I'm here today because I do not believe that what is occurring should be occurring in a free and democratic country. I do not care about your vaccination status, and I'm not going to share my private medical information. Because it is irrelevant. Everyone can still contract and transmit the virus. I have friends and family and colleagues all across the vaccination spectrum, and I respect everyone's right to choose. We all make personal health decisions every day, some that impact our crappy public health care system more than others. But that is how public health care works in a democracy. We know the factor that comorbidity plays in severe illness and death, and it should have been highlighted 24 months ago. I love you guys. Our governments have been singularly focused on COVID for 2 years, and singularly focused on vaccines as a treatment. During the pandemic, in 2 years, they have not invested in any infrastructure nor capacity. In fact, they have terminated first responders who would not comply with mandates or providing private medical information. I am one of those first responders. In my small community, I know the impacts that mandates have had. My department has not supplied me with any information that justifies their egregious overreach. And until I receive that information, I will not disclose my vaccination status. And now, across this province and country, because of the drastic reduction in staff,
We have vaccinated, COVID positive, first responders working front lines, while healthy, vaccine-free, and fully trained first responders have been rendered useless. Delayed surgeries and reduced elective care capacity is not due to vaccine-free people in our communities. It is due to our reckless and irresponsible governments. Vaccine-free first responders and healthcare workers did not choose the wrong career. We stand by them and we support them. We support their freedom to choose whether or not they want to be injected with an emergency use mRNA lipid nanoparticle treatment, which has zero long-term studies and has had no carcinogenic research conducted. I stand with my firefighter brothers and sisters, and I hope some of you are in the crowd today. We are holding the line. I stand with all vaccine-injured firefighters and first responders that I have met in the past 5 months who were coerced into compliance. This medical coercion is unacceptable. I want to protect our democracy and preserve our Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada, which is currently being trampled on. I want people to have access to safe and effective preventions and early interventions against COVID-19, like the protocols listed on the front line COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. We passed out QR codes today where you can scan those QR codes and see those protocols. If you don't know about them, please read them and get informed. I have had the virus, and I have seen the virus go through my community. Everyone needs access to prevention and treatment protocols regardless of vaccination status. Conversations with patients without fear of reprisal from their colleges. I want them to be able to honor their Hippocratic oath. I do not want to live in a society where I have to show my papers to participate. To use Trudeau's words, I do not want to be rewarded for having done the right thing. That is a social credit system, and that is currently used in communist China. Do any of you want to live under a social credit system? No, thank you. I'm an ordinary person standing before you because I have the courage of God behind me. He is the only way through this. He truly gives me strength and guidance every single day. Our charter states that Canada is founded upon principles that recognize the supremacy of God. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. So that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And then after you have done everything, to stand. Until your final breath. To the businesses like South Island Sea Kayaking Association, who continue to push customer vaccine mandates for outdoor physical activity, and Island Savings Credit Union, who has implemented an employee vaccine mandate without any testing permitted for vaccine-free employees. Even stricter than federally regulated banks operating under Trudeau's mandate. We will vote with our dollars and we will take our money elsewhere. To the school boards like District 68 in Ladysmith and Nanaimo, District 63 in Saanich, we will not tolerate what you are doing. We have taken note of our American brothers and sisters and their success in taking back their school boards in the USA. Children from your school schools. We will attend school board meetings and our voices will be heard. We have a duty and a right to engage in peaceful protest and civil disobedience. And that right is protected in our charter. It is time for righteous insubordination and united mass non-compliance. It is our only way out of this mess. 6 months ago, I was completely isolated and ready to give up. But then I found beautiful souls and ordinary people like me who were fighting for our democracy, and I became inspired to do extraordinary things like them. I got involved with the Notices team at We Unify to take action and to educate people and businesses about mandates and the personal liability they are taking on. Today we have notices that we have signed for Adrian Dix, Attorney General David Eby, School District 68, and School District 63. We will ensure they are served. Lastly, I had the great pleasure of hearing the Honorable Mr. Brian Peckford speak in December, and he absolutely set my heart on fire. We all need to rise. We all need to be empowered by our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which are guaranteed to us as Canadian citizens in this country. There is no more sitting idle. To MP Alistair McGregor, who has replied to my inquiries, I respect you for that, and I look forward to further discussions. To MLA Sonia Furstenau, how many of you in the crowd have her as your MLA today? So she retreated from her office after being served with NOLs by the community in early December, and she will not pick up the phone to talk to me despite my many inquiries. I have lost all respect for you, Sonia, and so have most of your voters, many of whom protested with you at your green initiatives. You will not keep your seat in the next election. Your mayor and council, your MLA, your MP, you need to be calling and emailing them every single day. All of us, we need to remind them that they are elected by us. They are paid by us. And they are accountable to us. Be bold, be brave. Be calm, lead with love, and stay strong. Please support We Unify. The work we are doing to protect our democracy is priceless. We are only just getting started.